Okay, hello and welcome again to another episode of Lockdown Orienteering Interviews for the World Orienteering Day. Here with me today, I have a very special man. As you can see from my background, he's incredibly special physically. You can just see the body there. He's laughing, of course, on the other side of the world. It's Gerardo Garcia from Argentina. Gerardo, how are you? You've run two World Championships now, the last two World Championships, and you've run World Cup in China most recently last year. Kind of new to the big international orienteering scene, but you've also been coming to O-Ringen, the big Swedish summer races every year, multi-day races. How are you doing at the moment in Argentina, and how are things for you?
Hi, Hector. Nice to see you finally. And here we started like 2 months ago, the lockdown. We were much later than Europe. So we have time. So here things are doing quite well. Just financially, we're broke. We cannot work and like same problems that everybody. And yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, like everyone, we're really struggling to get to grips with how to live and how to work and how to train and how to enjoy life again in most ways. So, yeah, it's great that you could join us and take the time to really, come and talk with us today. I want to ask you first, like, how did you get into orienteering all the way in Argentina? It's not a big sport over there, right?
You've been here. We met in December. I know it is it is a very unknown sport.
Yeah.
I started in late 2006 as a tour guide. I have a group of 45 Swedish guys and Norwegian and all Nordic countries coming to do a tour in the country and with Pre Benston, and I was the tour guide of that group. So we traveled in 5 countries in South America, and that was my intro. And I was 22. I was kind of old for orienteering already. But I fell in love. I was crazy. I still do. Of course, I'm older. I read maps better now, but I'm not strong physically as I used to be.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that you have such a passion for it. As you mentioned, like I came out and I visited and we went around Buenos Aires together and looked at some maps and things that you've been making. Some of those maps were really good, like really high quality, and you've got a great sort of, I would say, idea of how to map and how to create maps. And of course, you haven't done that much traveling to the rest of the world in terms of, elite athletes. You have been, of course, to 2 World Championships now. Tell us a little bit about how traveling and doing orienteering and seeing orienteering outside of your own country and outside of your continent in South America, how that has affected you in the last few years, and give us a little insight into how orienteering has, the perspective for you, how it's changed.
Well, it was huge. Orienteering my country, biggest competition for maybe 50, 80, 100 people or something like that. And the first time I went to Brazil was South American Championship, I think 2006. And it was 500 people, and I couldn't believe it was so big. And the best thing and then I get the chance to go to the Orienteering, and a friend of mine told me, you can go first to a small competition, 3,000 people, club, and then when Orienteering 20,000 people, and the great thing is that you can talk with people that think like you, that they know what you're talking about. Yeah. Here, I'm pretty much talking with myself and just a few friends that know the sport. But when I travel and I met you and all the guys, like, you can share all those moments, and that was amazing. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, going to a World Championship, that was an invitation I had, and I couldn't say no because I wanted to run those maps. I want to see what the best guys in the world ran. It was crazy. Of course, I'm happy to finish, but it makes me understand how good you have to be to be at that top level, how much dedication you need to put into it. Mm-hmm. And in perspective, of course, my dream is to have something like that in my country someday. Of course, it takes time. It takes time, and not just all my time or whatever time I put. I need more people to do it. And it was amazing. And I love the friendship I saw in all the elite athletes all over the world. Seeing the same guys in China, see them in Norway or in Latvia, and it seems like they know for so long. And I don't know if everybody realizes how lucky they are of doing that all over the world.
Yeah.
we have this amazing sport that we need new locations, and that was great that they were traveling all over. So
yeah. So you've now been orienteering for a while, like you say, and obviously it's difficult for you in Argentina because there's not so many people, there's not so many resources. The development is quite low in terms of the speed of it. But what have you been doing? Tell us a little bit, because when I visited you and we went to Buenos Aires, around Buenos Aires, you were showing me all your maps that you've been making. We talked a little bit about the maps up in like El Chalten and places like this. Yeah. So tell me, what have you been up to since? I mean, obviously not that long ago, but what's planned and what's been going on? Like, where are you in terms of the development of orienteering in Argentina right now?
Like, I think 2014, I decided to start to do maps. When I first started, I just wanted to be better. And because I was competing against people in Brazil that they run quite often, and I never ran on a map. So I said, well, first I was like selfish. I want to do maps too. I'll be better. Yeah. That was my purpose when I started mapping. And then I realized this sucks. No, I feel I'm good. Because it's all in your head. Yeah. But then I said, well, if you want to train, you need to develop the sport so other people know it, so they can do maps and you can run on their maps. That was the plan. Long time ago. Of course, it's much slower than what you think, but I never lose that passion. And so I've done like maybe 120 maps, mainly sprints, because where I live in Buenos Aires, you can see the horizon all around you. It's super flat, and it's a lot of farms and these kind of things. So there are sprint maps. That's what gets people into orienteering, I think. And also because it's much quicker. You can do a lot of things from home. Now with the lockdown, I'm doing a lot of sprint maps. Yeah. With Street View helps and all these kind of things. Yeah. And so now I'm doing the website of Orienteering Argentina, because actually I think there's nothing pretty much. And making a calendar. We always make races, a few races a year, but they're all like disconnected. We don't have a following of the people. They love it and they just don't come back because we don't know where's the next one. So we have to have a good base, because we have no doubt that when you run orienteering, 99% of the people will try it again. Yeah. And especially in Argentina, we love sports, we love running, and we have such amazing landscapes in Patagonia. You have been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
If you check adventure races, there are plenty of them, trail running and these kind of things, but nothing like orienteering. It's not at that level. This is like running 2.0 is much better. Completely unexplored terrains there. Yeah, for sure. But of course, the hard part about it for me is, should I go there for 2 months and try to do a forest map when not many people in my country will be able to solve it? Like right now, it's not good. Yeah, maybe internationally that will be good and people will love to run there, but it won't help to grow the sport right now in my country, which is my main focus. Yeah. And also because it takes time. We don't have LiDAR or any laser scan, so it's all handmade. But now basically it's trying to be more like a plan, because before it was, let's do this. Yeah, we have fun with my friends doing it, but it was all disconnected and it doesn't work. But
no, well, hopefully, everything calms down. We can get back into the forest. You can get back mapping, taking this time now. You can make the plan, and then eventually we're gonna get the plan into action, and Argentina will become a hot destination for orienteering, I'm sure, in the coming years and into the future. Talking of the future, tell us a little bit then about this plan. Like, what kind of goals and dreams and schemes do you have, firstly in this coming year, and then looking even further forward then? What's the real dream for you as we go forward in the next 5 years?
In orienteering, I want to be physically strong as I used to be.
Yeah, okay.
I would love to have a coach. I would love to have someone to tell me what to do, because I know I can put everything to it. But I'm doing things like without a plan, and for me it's hard to know how an orienteer trains, and especially with the map thing. Physically, of course, I can have an idea, some kind of, but without competition, it's very hard. I only run a few races a year when I go to Europe in the last 4 years. But that said, it's very hard to have a pre-season which lasts 11 months. Yeah. But the goal, is to be, for myself, is to be stronger physically. I think my map reading is okay. Of course, I do mistakes, but I don't blame it, but of course, the speed in the terrain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the goal is mainly to make it work here.
Yeah.
Because when I get to know the sport, I felt like, who I will ask how to do this, and I don't want anyone else to go through this if they love the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it was hard at the beginning. I was spending a lot of money just driving by myself 2,000 kilometers for one race and come back. And I say, why this is not in my country? I felt this is unfair. I love my country, but I didn't like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my drive right now is to make it for everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's great to hear you so passionate. And I'm sure everyone watching, they can understand how frustrating it must be and how much they should, or how much they do take things for granted in just the way that orienteering is set up, here in Europe or elsewhere, even, Australia, New Zealand, places like this. Like, orienteering is set up so well, it's so easy to just go on a weekend and enter online to a race and then just turn up on the race, and you have a good map, you've got nice courses, good competition, of course, as you talked about, plenty of people and your friends and the whole community, and I think we take this for granted for sure here in Europe,
I remember once,
like Sweden and all these places.
I was running, I don't know, in one European country, and after the race, I saw a guy like cursing the map, this shit map, and I wouldn't say, the map was not good, but they say, I love this race. But the map was not perfect, but of course, at some level, maybe they really don't like it. And that's true. I felt that when you take it for granted, I talked to him, and for sure, and then it's true. But it's like when you make a mistake and you play map, and that, we all do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's so good. It's so good to hear. So good to hear that you're at least keeping well and you're keeping the motivation high for orienteering. And of course, you've been enjoying the lockdown orienteering, which we've been trying to put on to entertain most people who are interested in it, of course, around the world, interested in keeping up with orienteering during these times. So I'm glad you could be a part of that. And of course, I think we will be doing some more races and things that you can be involved in. Of course, you always can get an invite into this. We're happy to support you in that way.
That'd be great. So the video orienteering was great.
Really? Was that your favorite?
The video, I can see a forest. I just saw houses. I live in a small town, and actually seeing the map and running good, which is they were running fast. Then I realized it was Lucas. Okay, that's why it's running good. I thought I was good.
Lucas, he did a good job with that one in Gothenburg, in fact, in Sweden. So
that was Gothenburg. Nice. I realized it was Sweden or something like that. But
from the map,
nice.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, let's have a little competition then in the end of this interview. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it. I'll share my screen with you. Here we go. And we'll start this little presentation. Of course, for those who have watched previously these interviews, they'll know that it's a photo competition. You get 1 point for the year, and you get 1 point for telling me where it is. I expect you to do pretty well on these. We start with this one.
Yeah, because there are not so many races.
Exactly. We'll start with this one. Tell us a little bit about it.
That's my first World Championship. That was the middle distance. And that was before the control that goes through the people.
Okay.
And that was super, super steep. And I was actually looking too much at the map. I just got to run till the tape. It was super easy if you look at the map. Because it was all leading to the... But amazing. That was my first... I think it was... Yeah.
2018 Latvia World Championships. Yeah. Very nice. Very good. Okay, we'll continue.
Oh, that's in Brazil. That was... the year is hard.
Yeah.
That was South American Championship. That was a relay. That was the last leg, I think.
Yeah.
And the year...
Have a guess.
2008?
No, I think it's 2012.
That's maybe when I uploaded the photo, but I think that was before.
Okay, then my mistake. 2008.
Yeah, the other guy is Roberto. He's a friend of mine from Brazil.
Yeah, I'll give you a mark there for me just casually taking a photo that you uploaded in 2012.
Yeah.
All right. It looks good though. I mean, you know, the setup, there's many orienteers and helpers of this kind of race. So this was Brazil, you say, like?
That was South American Championship. Like in the last 20 years, 18 times was done in Brazil, which is the strongest country. And usually it's around 500 people and like a bunch of clubs doing it. And it's always worked perfectly. You know, they're amazing. Or actually, this year should be in October, a South American Championship between Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay, but it was canceled.
Okay. Yeah.
Postponed 2021, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. What's going on here then? We can see you kind of in the front to the right. Olav Lundanez as well, among other orienteers stood around here. What's going on here?
That was the Orienteering Academy. That was right before the World Championship in Latvia. That was 2018.
Yep. That's right.
I cannot pronounce the name where that was in Sweden because I'm like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, Örnsköldsvik, I think it was. Yeah, with the Orienteering.
Yeah, I think that was the day that Olav, usually Olav always wins, but that was the day that Olav win. So he came to tell us how he did all the road choices on that day on a big screen. It was super nice.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like a fun group that was turning out
extremely international. Yeah, people from China, from Israel, from Colombia. Yeah, that's a great thing. And most of us are not, I don't think they're elites, but.
No, of course. Yeah, cool. All right, next one then. This is an old one, I think.
Yeah, that was not 2014.
Okay, 2014, yeah.
Yeah, I was not in the age to compete, but that was the World Master Orienteering Championship in Brazil.
Yeah.
That was the biggest competition ever happened in South America.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, 3,000 people or something. And those are my two other friends, Fernando, Rafael. We are the three that always organizes almost absolutely all the races in my country.
Yeah. The three musketeers from Argentina there.
Yeah.
This is great.
Two crazy guys and another crazy guy.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, they're super passionate about sport also.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, look, we'll get to this final one. This one I found, I think, from a tourist.
Why you put those pictures? They're better pictures than.
No, this one I found on some tourist information website for Argentina, for Patagonia. So.
Yeah, you have been there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I have, yeah. It's great. Tell us a little bit about your country, you know, Argentina. For those who haven't been to Argentina, of course, it's a country of great landscapes, incredible mountains, glaciers and this sort of thing. You don't always have to wear clothes as well, as you show in this photo.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of insight into, you know, some of the highlights that you can see in Argentina.
This was a few years ago, I think 2007. I was living there as a tour guide in that national park, and there are like 300 glaciers. And that's extremely the southern part of the country, pretty much.
Yeah.
And in that picture, it doesn't look so good for orienteering, I know. But right next to it, you have some nice forest. And as landscapes, I always think, I did tourism for 18 years, so I was trying to mix things. In landscape, you have everything you need, and also I think you have a lot of different weird kind of places for orienteering. And I'm always, every single day, looking at areas that could be cool to do something challenging. And also we have in the north, some desert with some weird shapes, like pretty high, like 4,000 meters over sea level.
Yeah.
But that's nice to train also. And we have jungle, we have everything. And yeah, this was like in October, which temperature can be like 20, 25 degrees. And in summer, maybe a little more. Winter, don't go there. Pretty rough. I mean, some people like cold, but I don't think it's cold like Nordic countries in winter.
No? Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, yeah, I mean, clearly you enjoying the weather there. Well, great. I mean, you did really good there. I would say 10 out of 10, 100%. So
okay, nice. Against myself, that's easy. I always want to guess myself here.
No. You've been doing better than some of the others that I've been interviewing. But I have to admit, 100%. You know, can't get better than that. So well done.
That's good.
Thank you, Gerardo, for joining me today. It's been great to catch up.
Thanks you. It was great. It was great to talk to an orienteer.
Yeah. And it's been great to hear such passion for the sport again. So yeah, thanks for that. And thank you everyone who's been watching this interview with me today and with Gerardo. And hopefully, Gerardo, we can see you in the future sometime soon. If not on lockdown orienteering and during the competitions, then in some competition in real life, in a forest or in a town, on a sprint map, in
Sure.
some beautiful terrain somewhere in the world. I'm sure that you'll be able to get there eventually, hopefully. So yeah, Gerardo, thanks again. We'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, Hector.
Cheers. All right. Thanks, mate.
Bye, guys.
Bye.